G'day and welcome to the Hunting Connection podcast. My name is Zach Williams and I am your host. Here we'll connect you with hunters, fishers and outdoor enthusiasts from around the globe. This podcast will share hunting and fishing stories including past experiences and tackle the tough hunting stereotypes our community faces. We hope to be a positive influence to those outside the community while also having a laugh along the way. Hope you enjoy the podcast. G'day and welcome to another episode of Hunting Connection podcast. On this episode, I am joined by Tommy from Tommy Z Customs / I Like It Deep 98 on TikTok and Instagram. How you going, mate?
Great. How you doing?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. No, I got a good laugh at the spearfishing channel on TikTok and Instagram. That's a great name for it.
Yeah, people never forget it. That's for sure. That's why I ran with it.
I knew it was something ridiculous. Like I messaged you this afternoon. I'm like, "What's your Spiro channel again?" I'm trying to find it because everything that I interact to you on is your Tommy Z Customs page, and that's how I come across you.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just like, oh, and then it popped up. I'm like, oh, that's what it was. I knew it was something hilarious like that.
Yeah. I love when people try to mock me about it as if I didn't pick the name.
Yeah, it's like you've accidentally picked it and you didn't know the innuendo meaning to it.
Exactly. It's also punny though, because with diving, it's like, deep, and same with hunting, deep in the bush. It makes sense.
It's awesome, man. It's awesome. So, how long have you been a Spiro for and hunting?
Spiro, I've only been a Spiro for probably about 18 months, ever since I moved up to New South Wales. And hunting, I got my gun license during all the crazy Rona times, And so probably about four years for hunting now. That'd be it. 4 years for hunting and 18 months roughly for Spiro and diving.
That's awesome. So you didn't grow up doing any of it. So what drew you to getting your gun license and then getting into hunting and then progressing into spearfishing?
In all honesty, I'll put my tinfoil hat on for this one. During COVID and stuff like that, I just started to look at the world differently. And, the way that I guess you could say we're being nudged and coerced into certain things. And for myself, I just had more of an awareness of what I was putting into my body. I'd class myself as well as like a spiritual sort of guy as well. So it's just wanting to, number one, connect closer to my food source, and then also just get meat that isn't pumped full of hormones. It hasn't been, pumped full of antibiotics and vaccines and all of that other crap. Like just having as much as like kind of pure source organic meat as possible. That's the biggest reason why I got into hunting for starters. And then with spearfishing, like I said, I moved up to New South Wales just under 18 months ago, and because I'm a New South Wales resident, all my firearms are still down in Victoria, so it was like, how else am I going to get me protein? So just go and swim with sharks and go and get it.
That's awesome. So what was your progression into hunting? Like you said that the Rona pushed you over the edge to go get your license. What was your what was your first experience? How did you start learning? How did you start looking into things?
I'm just one of those people that does my own like very deep research before I go into things, because I'm kind of like that buy once, cry once person. I'll spend so much time researching, whether it's a piece of tech, a firearm, or how to do this, how to do that. I just go so deep in the whole of pretty much everything I want to get into. There's another I like it deep, I guess. Then the whole of research and things. But yeah, I guess with firearms, it was just, looking how to go about getting my license and stuff. But I must say, I think as a whole, there should be a lot more education before getting handed your firearm license and before, I just think. I just did a lot of research around all of that stuff, and Victoria has, despite some of the other non-very lenient laws in other ways, but their hunting is pretty much the best or most lenient in Australia. In that sense, you can just wake up and go walk into a state forest and try your luck, sort of thing.
That's awesome. So you said you like doing your research. What was your first rifle? What was the first thing that you bought?
Stupidly, this is what I mean, where I feel like we need a bit more education though, right? Like, so my first rifle that I bought was, I'm trying to actually remember now. I bought a 22 and a air rifle, like just second handies. But the first rifle that I bought with the intent to go deer hunting with was a Tikka T3 super varmint, so absolutely heavy gun in a 223 caliber. Right? And this is before I went and, got my hunting license and stuff. But I'm like, yeah, this is going to be the gun. Yeah. And then after I'd bought it, I found out that it's not big enough to legally go and shoot sambar deer anyway in Victoria.
Or fallow or hog deer.
well, yeah. Well, in Victoria it's legal, but then in other states it is recommended, I guess, to have 270 and above. But yeah, so that was a bit of a rude awakening, as well as just having such a heavy gun, I guess, and not understanding the difference of lighter and heavier firearms and how that may play into effect when you're trekking and hunting for miles.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Those varminting rifles can be quite heavy. I got the Tikka T3X Strata in 300, and that's super light compared to some of the other rifles I have. But they make a great rifle. But yeah, you certainly feel it once you add a scope on it and a bipod and a sling and.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But like, even because I've got a Tikka T3 light for deer hunting in 308, and then I've got me 223 in me super varmint, and just chalk and cheese. Like. Yeah, first time carrying that thing around, I'm like, far out, this is labour intensive, isn't it? And then when I got my light in 308, because I only got it because I needed a bigger calibre, obviously, and then I decided to go for a lighter gun. I go, holy shit, this is a massive difference. Even just trying to freehand and stuff like a super varmint, no way.
So did you join a club, or did you find friends that were into hunting and shooting and then progress from there, or were you just by yourself out in the bush learning from scratch?
I was just mainly, by myself out in the bush learning from scratch. Some YouTube videos like Aussie Bush Harvest, and there's the guy from Maroka 30 as well, because he's local to where I grew up. So just watching some of those videos and trying to understand a bit more before just going out and raw dogging it. And then I went to one of the deer expos that they had a couple of years ago, and I actually bought, and I highly recommend these books, like probably the best investment, but Secrets of the Sambar by Errol Mason. And I bought the whole collection, which was like, $600-700 or whatever. But also my recommendation to people out there is the most value for money book of his would be the Hunt Smart System. It's pretty much like all that you need from all the other books jammed into one. And ever since reading that book, I have never gone out like sambar hunting and not at least spotted a sambar, or like bumped a sambar or something like that. Opposed to just, going randomly, I'm going to go to this state forest because there's deer in there. But where in the forest? What are that, where's their water? Where's their food? Where are they most likely going to be given the conditions, the thermals, all of that sort of stuff? Absolutely priceless book, worth forking out the money for.
Yeah, that's awesome. See, I was quite lucky when it came to sambar. I had mates over there that have spent a lot of time on sambar. So I've only gone on two trips over there where I haven't seen a sambar, and that was before I met these guys. So, but they're a bloody cool animal. How long into your hunting journey did it take you to drop your first deer?
Time frame. That's a bit of a hard thing to put on a day. I think it would have been probably my fourth hunt, I reckon. Fourth or fifth actual hunt. I went out and did some kind of scouting missions and stuff like that without the rifle whilst I was waiting for my 308 and stuff. But yeah, especially since reading that Errol Mason book, that was probably after my third or so hunt. First hunt I went out on, spotted a couple sambar, just didn't get a clean shot because I was in very thick kind of vegetation and stuff. And that actual first hunt, I actually patted a baby sambar that was on the side of the track. I couldn't put my barrel to its head. It was laying right there. But that was a real cool experience. would have been a great snack pack, but I don't know. There's just a part of me that I just couldn't do that. That wasn't very fair.
Yeah,
And,
I don't think many of us could, man.
yeah. Anyway, people just think us and like hunters and spearos are savages, but most of us do have a heart, eh?
Yeah, we do.
But yeah, and then I think it was my next hunt. Yeah, I was hunting in the same area, and it was just coming just before last light, and probably I got within about probably 45 odd meters of one and dropped it, and that was my first deer out in Nuji. I won't say where, but yeah, out in Nuji.
Yeah, don't burn spots.
Just thick as, but yeah, and it's hard. Like Nuji it's hard to hunt there because it's so thick, but it's one of the closest places to the city to hunt, so it gets absolutely smashed, especially in hound season. So
that's awesome, man. Not many people, like I've spoken to lots of people that have chased sambar as they're starting to get into hunting, and not many people get it done that quick. So it's good to hear that you picked up quite a bit from reading Errol Mason's book, because I've spoken to guys that are 3-4 years into hunting and haven't shot a sambar, and they live in Vic. They just can't put the right connections together. So that's a good recommendation.
I feel like without reading that literature of it, I'd be pretty hopeless as well. I definitely wouldn't have. But in terms of time frame, I reckon it would have been probably about within the first year of getting my gun license. But yeah, just with all of you don't go out hunting all the time, sort of thing. Plus, I was going through knee surgeries and stuff. So yeah.
No, that's pretty good, man. That's a really, really good effort. They're a tricky animal to hunt, and their senses are super, super keen, and they're just a cool animal. How'd you go getting honked the first time? Were you?
When I found out deer honked, I was like, what? Like, actually, let's back that up first. When I was about 18, 19, and I was on my P plates, I was going out for a camping trip, nearly hit a deer, and at this stage in my life, I still did not know we had deer in Australia. And my brain just like completely just glitched for a second. I was like, was that fucking Bambi? Do we have Bambis in Australia? Like, I did not know at that stage. So, that was an interesting experience. But now I forgot what the original question was.
Getting honked.
Getting honked. It is just such a bizarre sound from a sambar deer. Like you wouldn't expect it at all. But yeah, that first hunt that I was telling you about, where I was patting that baby deer. There was I believe it was that baby's mum honking in another direction, trying to draw our attention away from these kind of creek beds and stuff. And yeah, after a while of honking and not getting a clean shot, I went, you know what, I'm not going to come back for a few months anyway. I'll go down in the creek bed, see what it's all like. So I've got a kind of mental map and stuff like that. And then, it was like the mum was just trying to draw our attention away, which was quite smart as well. And then the other... one of the other times, I was having a honk off across the gully, and then my mate's phone in his backpack went off, his alarm, and just like absolutely bust it. It was like one of those, you just bring a mate along that's never been before because they want to experience it. And I was like, we weren't far into the hunt, about to having this honk off, and then his alarm goes off, and I go, fuck, we're doomed now.
That's hilarious. Is sambar the only species you've chased, or you've gone onto some fallow on that as well?
I got onto some fallow just before Christmas, actually. I got onto some private property. I got a mate that works in a gun shop and has a few private properties and that he's got access to. So, yeah, I went for I wouldn't call it a hunt, though. That was a shoot, hey. That was on private property at night. Like, yeah, I wouldn't really count it. But yeah, that was the first fallow that I'd taken. Yeah,
beautiful. And then, what did you think of fallow compared to sambar?
In terms of what, eating
Flavor.
Or hunting?
Yeah,
Flavor? Very different. Like, I don't know. I prefer sambar, but yeah, I did also age the fallow for like 8 days or something, like in the fridge, dry aged it. So it was really grouse, eh? So they're both amazing meat. I'd pick it over beef any day.
Oh man, I love venison, but yeah.
So many people get weirded out though. As soon as you say deer, it's like, ooh. Yeah.
Wait till you start serving like the offal bits, or you do some carpaccio or some venison tartare for people. That freaks them out even more when you're trying to serve them raw Bambi.
Oh yeah, we'll see how we go, eh? I'm still half like that with like ceviche and fish, and sashimi, and I just go, oh really? Just,
Honestly,
yeah.
try make yourself up, even just with the inners, like your tenderloins. Cut them
Yeah.
up, like dice them up really fine, and make yourself a venison tartare. And you crack a egg on top. You separate the white and the yolk, and you put the
Oh,
egg
no,
yolk
you're not
on
raw
top.
egg in it too.
Yeah, it
No,
is so
I
good, man.
haven't gotten around to that yet, eh? There's people that do that in the Spiro game, and I just go, oh, I can't get around to that yet. We've just been conditioned about salmonella and stuff and parasites. But anyway, I'll get past. I have had a fair bit of raw fish now in my short-lived experience, but yeah.
Oh,
do.
it always creeps people out, but honestly, I made the venison tartare at work mid last year after my Samba trip over to Vic, and everyone was like, yeah, nah. But I made the carpaccio and the tartare up, and put a piece on a plate for everyone to try some. And everyone loved the carpaccio the first time I made it, but everyone was hesitant to try the tartare. And then once they tried it, they're like, "Oh, that shit's all over the carpaccio."
Yeah, yeah. It's just it's a phenomenal meat, isn't it? Like,
Oh, it's just how like versatile it is. You can go from, like you did not long ago, make a bunch of sausages up, or you can make burger patties, jerky, roasts, absolutely everything. Salami. Oh man, the guys that make salami and metwursts, and I had a mate that made a bunch of cacciatore sausage up, and oh dude, it was one of the best things I've ever had. Like, it's a dried, cured, like almost salami sausage, but it's got the best flavor profile in it.
Yeah. Oh, one of the other reasons as well, which I don't know, people might find this interesting, but another reason that kind of steered me towards deer is two reasons. Number one, my blood type. So I went on the recommendation, like we were talking the other day, of carnivore, right, which is something that's so pushed out there. And because I'm a B blood type, I don't have the enzyme to properly break down beef like other blood types out there. And I actually destroyed my gut by doing carnivore. And because it's very anti-inflammatory and good, but there's not a lot of biomicrodiversity or whatever the frick it is. So yeah, I had like a long recovery of repairing my gut. But also, I feel like people get so caught up in like what they should eat, what diet, what this, what that, and I think there's a few major things, but one of the major things would probably be blood type, and then also like your ancestral lineage. Like, what did your ancestors eat that your body has kind of out of evolution developed on, sort of thing. And for mine, I've got Croatian heritage, like both my parents are Croatian, and over there it was eating more like goat more than beef, sort of thing. And venison is quite similar to goat. So it just agrees with my body a whole lot more as well. Like, I don't feel as heavy or stuff like that as well. So yeah, that's been another massive factor.
Yeah, that blew me away the other day when you said it, because I'm on carnivore once again to drop 15-ish kilos, which I find for myself carnivore very good for that. But I mix it up with beef, pork, venison, chicken, bit of everything, and I also do intermittent fasting while I do it. But like I've gotten lots of people onto it, and I haven't had anyone come up and say they're getting the side effects like you had. So that blew me away.
I was heavily, I was pretty strict, like meat, brekkie, lunch, dinner. I didn't really have dairy, cheese, and for most of it, I didn't even have eggs. It was mainly just meat. Like almost a lion diet sort of thing. But yeah, I had the longest recovery of trying to reintroduce. I was on like a strict like blended soup diet, like that been strained and stuff like that, like with all veggies and sauerkraut and cabbage to just get me gut back to normal. Because yeah, it's one of those things out there where I've also brought a bit of awareness to other people on carnivore that like they realise that, because for me it was I couldn't hold anything in. Like if I'd eat something or drink something, it was just going straight through me non-stop. And then I kind of went, what's wrong here? And I went and seen a kinesiologist actually. And I just got told my gut was all in all sorts, and I was on these supplements, and like I said, all of that, reintroducing stuff to my gut microbiome, and talking to there was another lady in the community up here who she went on carnivore, and like she preaches how it cured her Hashimoto's, for example, and she's telling everyone to get on it and get on it and get on it. And then I shared my experience with her. And then it was about 6 months later where she said she was kind of like, initially she was like, no, your experience, no way. Like, it's been so good for me, sort of thing. And then about, 6 months later, she goes, look, I've actually been, I haven't been able to hold food in for about 11 months. But, they're still going and telling people how good it is, even though it's not agreeing with their body. And like I said, it's great and anti-inflammatory, but it's just not for many people. That's for sure. But
if you go on the strict Lions diet side of things, that's like purely for anti-inflammatory stuff. But if you mix it up, you have lots of eggs. Like I said, I have plenty of dairy, lots of cheese and milk and everything. Pretty much if it's from an animal. But I also have, jalapenos from time to time, or some tomatoes. But I only ever do it 2-3 month stints, and I see the weight loss that I need in it. And
too bad for sure.
how long were you in it before you started getting all those side effects? Because I know the first 2-3 weeks it goes through you once your body's adapting.
Yeah, definitely. I would say probably around a year. Hey.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and there was also another bloke I went to high school with who he actually went viral on the internet because he had debilitating eczema. Like, this poor bloke, if he touches guitar strings or stuff like that, it all flares up and stuff. And he went on full strict carnivore / then into Lions diet and stuff. And I actually caught up with him when I was down in Melbourne because I lent him some of my literature and that. And he basically shared pretty much the same story. He's got this account that's now, because of it, he's got 80-something thousand followers from preaching carnivore, and now he doesn't know what to do with it because he doesn't believe in it anymore. He's like, what do I do here? But so it's interesting. Just I guess the biggest message is just listen to your body, and don't chase the fads, and look at your ancestral lineage. If you're Samoan or Fiji, maybe fish is a more prominent thing in your diet than opposed to going and chasing deer and stuff like that. But
Oh yeah, definitely. Heritage has a lot to do with it as well. But for me, for weight loss, I get slack during the year. Start hitting too many energy drinks, and being a truck driver up until recently, I stopping in at bakeries when you're hitting the small country towns, and you're like, oh, there's an iced coffee, there's a chili Kransky, there's a pie. So it catches up to you. So I like it just purely for weight loss.
I don't know how you've got it's funny though how we can have the discipline to do something so strict for a short amount of time, but then when it's outside of that, it's I can't just be good here and there,
Oh, that's why I go, everyone goes, oh, why do you go carnivore? Why don't you just eat a more of a balanced stuff? I even had
9 months of the year.
I even had a mate come up to me at work the other day, and he goes, I only ever really see you eating steak for lunch. I don't see you eating too much junk. I'm like, yeah, that's because I'm out in the truck and I'll grab a pie, and I was drinking 2 500ml energy drinks a day, and it's just the sugar that gets to you.
At the moment, You're just bulking the rest of the
But and then it's just because I lack discipline when it comes to food, because I'll sit there with a plate of food in front of me, whether it's a meat or a cheese platter, and I'll just sit there and eat it till it's gone. I'm like, I don't want to waste it, I don't want to throw it out, so I'll just sit there and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. So I have to go extremely hard to get the weight loss results I need.
Right. Fair.
So with spearfishing, you said you moved up to New South Wales. What drew you to it? Just apart from were you watching YouTube videos or TikTok videos? What pushed you towards spearfishing?
So initially, I got more pulled into freediving. So when I used to be a commercial electrician, and then during COVID and all that stuff, I wasn't allowed to stay as an electrician in Victoria for certain political reasons, I guess. And yeah, that kind of pushed me out of being a sparky in a sense, but I also bit of a roundabout story. But yeah, then I also had a knee injury coinciding with that. But I used to struggle a lot with drugs and alcohol and mental health and, depression, anxiety and that sort of stuff. And in 2020, I kind of, just went cold turkey, went sober, had what most people would call a spiritual awakening, and then COVID shit as well, and just looking at the world differently. And, from there, I used to literally hide in stairwells having anxiety attacks on construction sites because it was just that bad for me. And I fell into breath work. So I came across breath work, and that really helped with my anxiety. And then over the next by then it was probably 3.5 years. I quit being a sparky, and I started up a breathwork community. And then because of the whole breathwork side of things, freediving fascinated me. Like, how can someone dive that far below the water on a single breath sort of thing? And then I got into that. And then once I moved up here, and it just, I guess, I fantasized about it a little more. Then I just kind of went for it. And my ex actually took me on, or got us to go along on a free diving taster course nearby out at Broughton Island. And I was just like, this is fucking sick. Just being able to, go around in the ocean, no scuba tank, because I've done scuba once before in my life, but just exploring the ocean and stuff. And then when I moved up here, I go, well, I can't hunt with no guns. So what am I going to do? Need to go and get some fish, eh? So, that's kind of what pushed me into spearing is, again, just connecting close to your food source and sourcing your own protein and,
Yeah, it's crazy cool how well spearfishing, most people that hunt, they fish as well. And then you get the bow hunter side of people. Most guys that bow hunt and live near the coast, they'll spearfish as well. It's crazy how much overlap there is in those few disciplines.
People just think we love killing shit for the sake of killing shit.
Oh man, I've had spearfishers from all over. I've had Luke from New Zealand who runs I can't remember his page right now, but he's a mad spearo in the North Island up there and puts out some wicked content. And, there's always videos of him, diving with sharks and pushing them away. And it blows my mind. And then, I had a fella down here that, quit spearfishing because he was out scouting for a comp with a couple mates, and one of his mates was taken by a great white right next to him.
Where was that?
Yeah, South Australia. So,
right. Far out.
Down in the Eyre Peninsula.
Was the body recovered out of curiosity? Or?
No, I don't think so, from memory. I think it, from memory and the story that he told on the podcast, I'll have to send you the episode, but from memory, it hit him and then came back up and took the rest. From memory.
Really? Yeah,
so it was a brutal story.
Yeah,
and then, I had one of the president of the spearfishing club down here, what are they called? Golf Spearos, and had the president Dave on, and he was telling me another story because he's a commercial abalone diver. He had a seal come and grab him on top of the head, but just the story, the stories that people tell
them
me.
pesky seals, eh?
Yeah, he was diving down and it's just latched on top of his head.
They're freaky, even when you're diving, just their eyeballs looking at you. Oh, it's weird.
So how do you go diving over there at the moment with all the shark stuff that's happening in New South Wales? Do you try and clear it from the back of your mind, or is it constant in your mind while you're out there?
Well, people see me videos and they go, how can you swim with sharks? How can you get back in after that? And in all honesty, always every time I go out, I'm shit scared of them still. But also the thing is There's also a really cool documentary on Netflix called Shark Whisperer. That's a really interesting one to watch. But the thing is, like, sharks have just been demonized, and especially, like, you know, the movie Jaws and stuff like that. And, like, they don't want to eat humans, eh? Like, most of the time, like, yeah, maybe that one white that ate a diver or something like that. But people would not realize how many sharks are out there and how many just cruise by without them knowing. And this isn't to freak people out, but, like, even all these, you know, these bull shark attacks, or the other day someone getting knocked off the surfboard, and then we had, I think, 3 or 4 attacks within 48 hours. But, like, if they wanted to eat us, there wouldn't be a body left. Like, if you understand these animals and what they're capable of, like, it's just, most of the time it's poor visibility, and they're just very opportunistic animals. And yeah, they bite first, ask questions later. But it's, you know, one bite can be fatal, which is the sad thing. But yeah, in terms of it being in my head, like I said, it's always in my head. And I'm a bit older than a lot of the guys I go spearing with, so my frontal lobe's a bit more developed in that sense, where I'm a bit more like, I'm not saying this to put them down, I used to be like them, where, you know, no fear and, you know, oh, it'll never happen to me sort of thing. But yeah, the biggest thing is diving with people you trust, and, like, people that have your back. And yeah, like, I hate diving with people that, you know, you jump in the water and they piss off and they're 100 meters away and stuff like that. And that's happened to me so many times, meeting up with new spearos and stuff like that, where I've just been kind of left for dead. And yeah, just never go diving with them again, because it can be your life at the end of the day. So, but yeah, it's just, people need to realize that sharks they're not that bad. And most of the time, even as spearos, when we have our run-ins with them, they just want your fish. Like, that's literally it. The only times we really get harassed by them is you know, when you've got fish blood and guts going everywhere, or you've burleyed up and you've, you know, to attract maybe some kingies or something, but then a bull shark's come in or whatever. But yeah, I've never had, the only, I guess, bad experience I've kind of had is I had this 2-meter wine barrel of a bronze whaler just randomly attack my mate's orange and yellow float. He didn't have any fish on it. I had all the fish on my float. And just randomly, I don't know if you've seen that video on my page of it just thrashing around this float. And then I actually thought I pressed record on the GoPro, but I turned the GoPro off. And after that, it pulled his float down. He's trying to hold on to his gun by the float line. It's pulling him underwater. So he lets go. His gun disappears into the abyss. And then I'm just like, well, he's got no gun now. So here, you get behind me. I'll put myself between him and the shark. And then, yeah, I must say that shark did come and charge us probably 5 or so times until I jousted it in the side. But again, you know, we had like fish blood and guts hanging right near us and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess it is always in my mind though. And even like today, I went out on 2 dives. I went for a flatty bash this morning in the bay where all the whites cruise up and down the coast there, and the bull sharks. And that was a bit eerie, but again, just with one diver right next to you, watching each other's backs. And then went for another spontaneous dive this arvo with other people. I go, nah, this 1 meter viz, 2 meter viz out here, all green and murky. I go, nah, this is shit. Let's wrap this up. It's just about being sensible, and understanding too. And if anyone follows that Hunter Shark Jaws restoration dude, yeah, like he says, a lot of it's got to do with weather and rain flushing them out of places. And then when you've got the big ones and the small ones getting flushed out at the same time, the smaller ones have to become even more opportunistic because they're competing for food. And also, you know, that's the main thing. They're not just after us because they want to eat us.
Oh, that's it, man. Like, I'm not demonizing sharks by any fact, and it's the same thing when it comes to hunting.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, as you've seen, I jump on TikTok and jump on lives with a bunch of Americans, and they're always like, "Oh, what about snakes? What about this? What about that?" And it's just like, you know, yeah, I've maybe seen a dozen snakes in maybe 20 years of hunting while I'm out hunting.
Is that it?
That's it. Like,
I'm catching up quick, eh?
I've seen plenty out fishing, like, you know, walking along. Like, I sat down one day, I was chasing redfin with just, you know, on lure, and I sat down and watched this little baby red belly black just hunting the guppies, like the minnows in the shallows, and I'd watch him dive in off the rocks. He'd grab one, and then he'd come back up. He'd swallow it down, then he'd go back in. Like they're a cool thing. It's like sharks. Like I have a lot of respect for sharks. They taste bloody good too, but it's like all the animals. I have more respect for deer than most things, but it's also my favorite thing to hunt and kill and eat. But yeah, it's not the animals. It's more and more people going into the waters. They're swimming. They're in their territory. It's
all the more sports we've got of people on biscuits, wakeboarding, kite surfing, hydrofoil boards, paddle boarding. Like it's just getting like multiplied every year. So it's the statistic wise, it's not too bad, eh? Like it is sad and tragic every time it does happen. But also, if people had, I guess, a bit more knowledge around it, or if there was more education, even from the people I love so much, like from the government, and times where it's a high risk thing, if they put this on the news of, if this hunter shark jaws dude can go, hey, the next week is going to be a risky week, and then there's 4 within 48 hours, like how come like he said, how come the science and the other people can't put the message out there to people to have hopefully prevented at least some of them?
Oh, banning swimming's the only logical answer with that. Banning all swimming.
I know a fair few divers around here that have had encounters with whites and stuff, and personally, from people I've spoken to, none of them have been like gnarly encounters with whites. They just cruise by or whatever, or but there was one post in a Spiro page around here saying that at one of the known spots on Broughton Island, that there was a white that was quite aggressive even after fending him off, sort of thing. But as a whole, they're overall not too bad. And I guess another thing leading off your other question is you just got to know that if you act like prey, you're going to get treated like prey. So you've just got to stand your ground and staunch them, really. That's the only option in the situation.
Yeah, that's it, man. And plus, with all the protections on sharks and how demonized shark fishing is, with numbers increasing, of course, you're going to get more attacks as well.
Absolutely. And we're fishing for everything else, but barely them. And some of the blokes that I spear with, I actually met them through TikTok. They're probably 7 or so years younger than me, so they're just around their 20s. First dive I went out with them, we went up to Sealed Rocks, and one of them, it's the first time he ever done it though, he wanted to know what bronze whaler tastes like, and he shot this bronze whaler. And I just put the videos and stuff up, and all these Spiros and are commenting, why the shark, why blah, blah, and it's like, because we're going to eat it. We didn't just shoot it and kill it for no reason, you know what I mean? But yeah, people just have this, it's weird. So many people demonize them, but then also if someone takes the life of a shark, it's like, oh, how dare you, it's their ocean. But then it's also like, hey, we're eating it. We're not just, and me personally, when it comes to hunting and stuff like that, I shoot or hunt to eat. I don't just go killing shit for the sake of killing shit. And even when I've put up on some of those Facebook pages and stuff of requesting property access and stuff, I'm not one to go just cull animals for the sake of it. There's so many other people that'll just come and just want to go kill shit. But I'm not one of those people that I'm just going to go to a farm to go cull foxes and just for the sake of it. I just want to shoot to eat, and, if you want someone to get rid of them, I'll bring a buddy along that's maybe happy to do it. But yeah, so many people as well on those pages give me a bit of shit because they go, oh, how are you going to get on the property if you're not even going to, get rid of pests? It's that's just my values. I shoot to eat.
Yeah, fortunately, you can get landowners that appreciate that. I've got properties where it's I target which bigger bucks, but I'll eat. I've seen maybe 2 bucks that are past their prime that we couldn't eat after mates have taken them, and they were just ruddy as ruddy. But that buck behind me on the wall, the skull mount, but there's 2 skull mounts behind me. They're beautiful meat, beautiful. But and then I have other properties where it's just for access to do that, I have to do pest control as well. Yeah. So it's just this is how it goes with some of the farmers. You just have to make deals for it. But it's one of those things. Shark fin soup was one of my favorite things from Chinese shops growing up. It was because I don't like sweet corn. I don't like, all of those other soups. And, I grew up fishing and hunting. So, shark fin soup was my go-to meal growing up. And now you can't find it anywhere. Yes, like the shark fin trade is horrible. But if you're killing sharks anyway to sell to fish and chip shops, why can't you sell the fins and use the whole thing and make shark fin soup? But what they do now, because the shark fin trade over Indonesia, all of those areas was so prolific and got such a bad rap. You can't even buy shark fin soup over here anymore, and they're just throwing the fins away. Like it blows my mind when it comes to that type of stuff.
It is crazy, and like the biggest part for me is just utilizing as much of the animal as you can for whatever it may be. But like it is sad that happens out there, and like there's good and shit people of every kind. Every hobbyist, every race, religion, whatever. Like there's good and bad people in all walks of life, sort of thing.
As we've seen in the past few months. You're seeing a lot of it. But yeah, it's just absolutely crazy. So with spearfishing, what's been your, you said that Samba was like your go-to species while hunting. What's been your go-to species while spearfishing? Like I've seen you cleaned up on flathead today, which is an absolutely amazing fish to eat. Is it like flatties? Because I know they just pretty much lay there. Then not.
Flatty, going for flatties, it's barely spearfishing, eh? It's like snorkel spearing. There's like no diving needed, but in saying that, they are some pretty smart, hard creatures to spot most of the time.
Once you pick them up, though, it's the only thing I've shot with a spear gun. It's the first thing, like, I've seen a bunch of gar and tommies and all of that, couldn't get close to them. But, went straight over a flathead, land down in the sand. I'm like, oh, you're dead.
Yeah. But, like, flatties, they're normally good to, like, I normally do them most of the time as like a solo mission, just like a quick shore dive sort of thing, and just a Fraser filler sort of job. But in terms of like wanting to go target, it's kind of hard, eh? Like I do try have a balance. I do try also hunt smart in terms of not always eating big fish, like just kingy or whatever, because of mercury levels and stuff like that. Because when I was growing up, my old man actually got mercury poisoning, but I was eating too much fish and chip from fish and chip shops, like too much flake. But so for me, I just try to have a bit of diversity, hey? And like when it's cray season, you stock up on crays, and but kingies are just like, they're a fun, they're one of the most, egoic fish to be able to get. They're great for your ego, but, some days it depends on the conditions too. Like we might go out and get some reefies. Today was like, it's shit conditions, shit piss out of the bay and stuff like that. So I was like, let's just go for a quick dash in the bay. And within 40 minutes, two of us cleaned up 9 flatties and we were done for the day sort of thing. So there's no real go-to so far. It's just protein for the freezer, really.
No, that's awesome.
And what kind of tastes good whilst at it, whether it's brim, snapper, drummer. No,
that's wicked. I seen you had a nice feed of the flathead tonight, so
had some tacos. Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I love flathead. It's so good. But I don't think I met anyone that doesn't like flatheads.
It's so much bigger than Victoria, though. Like, so much bigger, massive compared to Victoria.
Yeah, they get massive up that way. Down here we're very similar. You get some okay ones, but it's just the different species that are up along that east coast.
Yeah, like even today, like we're not allowed to shoot any flatties over 70 centimeters, but today I've probably seen 3 that were close to over a meter, like just huge dinosaurs. You probably wouldn't want to eat them though because of what they taste like, but they're just massive animals.
No, that's massive. Great. That's
awesome. As wide as ours.
So what would be like, money not being an issue? I know you're mainly a meat hunter, but has there been any animals overseas that you've seen that you want to go chase, whether it's the hunting side of things or the spearfishing? Like, what would be five? Money not being an issue, what would you go chase?
Oh, that's an interesting question because yeah, I guess I haven't thought too far out of that box. Like I've watched Meat Eater, which has been a cool show to watch. Five animal. I can do this in Australia though. I want to spear a marlin. It'd be sick to. A blue marlin's probably asking for too much, but that'd be pretty epic. Just one and done. But yeah, even if I want to spear a marlin, that's definitely on the list. What else? Honestly, I'm not like I want to get a red deer. I haven't got a red deer yet. That seems like a good sort. Three other animals. I don't think I could think of three off the top of my head. Hey, like I said, the biggest thing for me is just like sourcing my protein like on a regular basis, sort of thing. So I haven't really, I guess, fantasized too much about traveling the world and adding stuff to the collection or ticking stuff off the bucket list. I haven't got to that level of the obsession yet, I think.
I will get there, especially with the food side.
It might do.
No, it is a funny question to ask people because you get people like me that are just hunting fanatics where you want to go absolutely everywhere and, hunt one of every species and then eat one of every species. Like, I went to Mexico a few years back and shot a big rattlesnake. I cooked that up and ate it and went and
Would you shoot it with a bow or?
Nah, shotgun. It was crossing the dirt track on the ranch we were on, and I'm just like, I want to shoot it and eat it. So cooked that up and went and caught a bunch of.
How was it?
Weird, very different. Okay. It was like a stringy meat. I don't think I cooked it properly. Like I think I was still a little bit undercooked when I ate it, but yeah, it was different. But I can say I killed and ate a rattlesnake, and then there was a few big dams on the property, so I went and caught a bunch of American bullfrogs and cooked them up and ate them, and they were fantastic. They were so
really,
really.
That just made me realise it'd be sick to go and hunt gators. We used to watch Swamp People, go on the bayou and fucking hunt gators. That'd be sick.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, as much as I love a good trophy, like I've got taxidermied stuff, I've got skull mounts, I've got antlers and tusks and all sorts of stuff laying around. But like the eating side of it is what I absolutely love. Like when I shot tahr in New Zealand, like the first thing we did was take all the meat and go cook it on a campfire for everyone. And we had tahr steaks and Kentucky Fried Rabbit around the campfire in New Zealand. Like it was just epic. And then Mexico, we're eating javelina and whitetail and hare and rabbit and all sorts of stuff over there. The snake. I was the only one that ate the snake and only one that ate the frogs as well. But it was just like trying. They've probably done their dash
and they know it's not good. we'll let the Aussie have it all himself.
Yeah, it was like we're shooting pigs on the ranch for the workers, and they're just like, shoot pigs, not javelinas, shoot pigs. Like we want proper pigs. And there's me shooting the javelina and cooking the javelinas up and making tacos up and soft wraps, cooking it up. And javelina was wicked. And they call them skunk pigs because they've got glands in them that give out like a skunk smell. And they're like a crazy, like they look like a miniature pig with tusks and black hair, and but they're a peccary, so they're not even related to the pigs in they're like an old world pig. They're so removed from Sioux Scruffa, which is
that was actually really interesting about Samba though as well, and their orbital clans and that. Yeah, that was a weird thing that you'd just never think of, eh?
Oh, they're cool. Once you start to, like, even with red deer and some Samba, you get the fangs. So, like, you get the ivories, which are the throwbacks from when deer used to have fangs, like the Chinese water deer. And it's crazy. Like, you look at most deer species, and they'll have a dark patch pretty much where their canines, where their fangs would have hung out. So that way you had the white the white fangs overhanging their chin, and then they've got that dark patch there so that it really highlights their fangs. And it's just like a throwback. So if you ever shoot a red stag, or I'm pretty sure Sambar and some of the other species get it, but they get throwback fangs or ivories that you can take out, which they're not an actual tooth, they're just like actual ivories, which is cool.
Yeah, right. Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. You learn so much when you're getting out there and all these different species.
And when you run a podcast.
Oh, dude, I've spoken to some cool people from all around the place, and you learn so much. Like I learned that we've got squirrels in Australia. In Western Australia, we've got like an African squirrel that's feral.
Yeah, right. Well, we just had possums. Squirrels are America.
Oh, that's what I thought too, because again, squirrels have been high on my list to go hunt for years because I want to shoot them and eat them. Which everyone laughs at, but like
off the WA.
Oh yeah, but they're an African ground squirrel, so they're not quite the North American or the English style squirrel that they have, which is unfortunate. Yeah, right. So how do you, like, we've had a lot of stuff going on, how people are seeing hunters lately due to firearm laws and firearms issues that are happening here in Australia. How do you see the public views on hunting hunters and spearos?
How do I see the public views on hunting hunters and spearos? I think, as most things are in this world, it's very manipulated by the media, and a lot of people just take it for what they're told it is, sort of thing, and don't, we're told to trust these kind of sources we're fed for so long, and I think it's just very skewed of like the reality of things, and even the whole premise of changing these firearm laws to 4 firearms. You go, all right, cool. Well, if the Bondi guys only had 4 firearms, where would we be? Oh, yeah, the exact same position. It's got nothing to do with that, because it takes one person with ill intent, whether it's firearms or not, though. But it just makes no bloody sense. But I know as a whole, like, I even used to view hunters and spearos as just like heartless, savage people that just like killing shit and have no respect for animals or the ocean or anything like that. But in reality of it, like, most of the people I go diving with, especially, if there's rubbish out there, we're picking it up. We're like, we clean up the ocean more than all the other people that whinge about us. You know what I mean? And like, even today, when I was flatty bashing, like, I picked up 3 lures and like probably 6 sets of fishing line and stuff. Because like, we do have that, like, most people do have that respect for not only the environment they hunt in, but also the animal. And most people do have the intent to put the animal out of its misery as best as possible. And, a lot of people, I got a lot of backlash, especially, being someone, I guess, in the spiritual space that was also hunting. And it's like, hang on a minute, you'll go walk into a supermarket and grab it off the shelf. I think it's a whole lot more respectable and honourable going and getting it yourself, sort of thing. Like, there's still no process of putting down an animal or a fish that I go, oh, fuck yeah, this is so good. Like, when you just, it's not the joy in that. It's just being connected to your food source and stuff. But yeah, I think as a whole, the public views us as some pretty heartless people. And it is quite sad. And, for the people that view us like that, it's like, in a sense, what kind of people do you think bring your food to your plate? You know what I mean? Like, they do it day in, day out, probably with not as much intention as we do either. You know what I mean? Like, and especially the environments all those animals are raised in, compared to we're actually going stuff that's had a good life and had the life that it was kind of meant to, up until, I guess, we've intervened. But it's a whole lot better than being raised just to be, killed or eaten like that. And for people that have those views and think people shouldn't hunt, I was saying this to you beforehand, but like, who do you think gets your food? You know, it's people like us, or somewhat similar to us. And if you don't like those sorts of people, then imagine no meat in your supermarkets, or how would they like it then? I guess
it's funny you say that. Like I say this to vegans all the time. Like they're just like, oh, you're heartless, rah rah. Why don't you eat vegetables like us and all of this other stuff? And my go-to answer to those types of people are, the only reason you're getting that food to your supermarket is because the farmer gets someone like me out to go shoot all the pest animals that are eating your food.
yeah, literally. Yeah, no, it is wild, and people have these skewed views in the world and stuff like that. And I was also kind of getting pushed towards the whole vego-vegan sort of thing, feeling sorry for animals, especially in like the kind of spiritual space of how most people view it. And then I actually read this book called The Hidden Life of Trees, and it talks, and it goes really in depth though about like this. I think it was a German dude that worked in the forest for decades, and he talks about the consciousness within plants. And once you kind of understand that, and you go, holy shit, like, just because it's not yelling or screaming or running away, like just the life force in that too, it's just like, you're just doing the same thing anyway. So go with what agrees with your body. Hey, like, it's not for everyone, but yeah. But I wonder what society would be like if people could only eat what they could get for themselves, and there was no like commercialized stuff. Like, how would people kind of view it all then?
Oh, that's a dream.
Yeah, well, the way we're going, it's going to be the exact opposite of that, eh? If the world keeps going the way it's going, like, it'll be no getting any food of your own. Here's some lab-grown crap.
Oh, we'll be in the movie WALL-E, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, how would you change the public views on hunting hunters, spearfishing spearos?
Oh, how would I convince them to see our point of view, or like how would I want them to see us?
What things would you do to personally change the public views on it all?
Oh, like I said before, I'd say no more meat in your supermarkets and all of that. Like, and then what are you going to do? Come out and see how it's done, where it comes from. And, like I said, it's not for everyone, but I think even like getting people in that sort of environment to understand what's involved, like, it is so much easier for us to walk into Coles and grab a slab of meat rather than spend a couple $100 on fuel, drive hours away, spend a whole weekend to maybe not even get a deer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't know. I'd probably just like invite them along on the experience, and also, like I said, there is good and bad people in every kind of walk of earth and every realm and corner of the world. And there are some hunters that, probably wouldn't be the best people to get them to tag along with, or spearos and stuff like that. But then for the majority of us, just like in society, the majority of people are good people. They do have that good intention and all of that. So, yeah, I'd probably just drag them along for the ride and be like, you like eating fish, you want to know where it comes from, you want to go jump in with those sharks? No, I didn't think so. But yeah, I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head. It'd just be like, all right, like if I was, it'd just be no more commercial meat then. Like, you don't like those sorts of people. No more commercial. How are you going to eat any of that stuff then? How are you going to get your protein? Going to eat fucking tofu blocks for the rest of your life? And soy?
And then the feral pigs and the deer and everything will eat all their soy, and then they won't be able to eat that, and then they'll starve.
Exactly.
So yeah. Let's chat about your roof consoles. So Look, man, it's how I found you, and we've been chatting since then. They're a pretty cool design. How'd you come up with it, and what was the process into going to making them up?
So about it was actually, it was during COVID, and I think it was during COVID, and I wanted a roof console for my car. I was running out of switch spaces. I had, I had spotties. I had a light bar. I had a light bar on each side of my car, separately switched. I had a rear light bar, I had under tray lights, and I wanted lockers that were going to be on switches. I go, where am I going to put all these switches? And I was like, all right. So yeah, and then I came across roof consoles, and two things. I didn't really love the look of any roof consoles out there on the market. They just weren't really, I guess, up with the times of, I guess, my generation and what would kind of go for. And I also didn't want to pay like $700 to $900 for a console either. So I went, you know what, I'll spend $400 on materials and make something, because like I've always been a tinkerer. My old man's had me in the garage my whole life. And I just went, I've never done it, but I'm just going to make one myself. So I came up with a design and something that I liked, and just thought about all these things I wanted to integrate. And yeah, like with the nice fancy switches, the LED strips and stuff like that. So yeah, I just went ahead and built it, taught myself how to sew, and come about 4 years later, I actually went to go sell my car that had the roof console in it. And I just put a video up on TikTok, walking around the car, going through all of the mods on the vehicle, like bull bar, this, that, dual battery setup, and then, you know, I had the roof console in there, and I went, you know, custom roof console, and then all these, the video got like 50,000 views, and everyone's like, where'd you get that console from? Where'd you get it from? Would you build me one? So then I put up another video the next day or something, because that video went viral, and I was just like, I was in this period where my holistic health business kind of went passive, where I don't really need much attention. So I had all this free time again. So then I was like, all right, well, what can I fill my time with? Like, you know, maybe I'll make some of these consoles. And there's some thunder. Yeah, we got some mad rain at the moment, like I told you was coming.
That's killer.
So yeah, I was just like, all right, I'll put up another video. Hey, these are the roof consoles I designed. Does anyone want one for their car? And again, that got another 50,000 views. And it just took off from there. In the last 8-9 months, it's been beyond a full-time bloody job trying to keep up with it, eh? So it was just a completely accidental and unintentional business, really. That's how it started.
That's awesome, man. Like, yeah, I came around as soon as you started, just as you started doing them for RGs, because I've got an RG Colorado, so they've started popping up in my news feed. I'm like, oh, they're tidy, they're so clean. And then you do like the bigger one, and then you do the Chode as well, which is really well named again.
Thanks.
But yeah, they're super cool, and just the attention to the detail that you put into it. And then, like, you know, all the other videos you put out, you know, like you have a bunch of people complaining about the price side of things for them, and it's just like, look how much work that you put into them. Like, you'll sit on live and you'll be putting them all together, and you put all the switches in, and you explain, you know, everything about it. All the thought, you know, how the depth on the actual console itself due to the wires and the backs of the switches, and, you know, the UHF mounts and wiring and everything else. Like, you've thought of absolutely everything when it comes to it, and they just look so clean and tidy. And then you add that you can do all the custom colored lights, and you've got like the light strips on the bigger ones as well, and they're badass, man. They're so good.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, no, they're just people don't realize, like, as well, like how much R&D time goes into it. And, you know, again, it's just one of those things where I've got that, I guess, initiative in life where I've never done any computer design or anything, but when people were like, yeah, build me one, I went, well, I don't want to be cutting MDF constantly, so what can I do to solve that problem? So, you know, I taught myself how to do 2D computer design and sketched them up on the computer, get them laser cut so they're all, you know, bang on every time sort of thing. And yeah, they've just kind of evolved all through that. So yeah, and it's also one of those things where I guess I want to show people in the world, like, especially like the younger generation, quite a few things. Like, you guys saw the little workshop, the little hut that I was in for about 8 months. It was a 2x3 meter al fresco that I had everything crammed into, and I was just tripping over shit. And yeah, just showing people like what you can do with like limited resources when you've got a vision and a goal. And then also showing the younger generation, like, you don't, like, yeah, I have been working hard, but you can also, like, you know, get out of whatever kind of construct of the world that, you know, has been placed on you, and being a cog in the wheel of society and punching in, punching out for someone else. And, you know, the biggest thing for me is buying my time back and being able to, like, you know what, it's a mad day for diving. Fuck work. I'm going out diving, and just having that freedom in life. And again, coming back to the crazy Rona times, like once we as a society had the ability to put food on our table dangled above our heads, whether we got something we believed in or not, I just made a promise to myself that, you know, I'm never going to be in that position again. Like, there is no way that I'm going to, just be in that position and be somewhere where I'm just, I can't put food on the table or anything like that, based on especially a massive potential health risk like that. So, that's how it all kind of naturally evolved, really. And as well as, my knee injury literally stopping me from being an electrician. Like, I've had 8 knee surgeries on my right knee, and there's no way I can go back to 40-hour weeks doing, you know, up and down ladders or in roofs or anything like that. So, I guess I've been kind of nudged and pushed in this direction one way or another too, and it's just naturally unfolded. So it works out well.
That's awesome, man. And you've just started doing a bunch more types of cars. So you were doing what? NP300s, RG Colorados.
Yeah, so at the moment I've got N70 Hiluxes, RG Colorados. I believe, and I'm testing in the next week or so, whether the RG Colorados are the same as the D-Maxes of that era. Then, I've got NP300s down pat, and I am looking into doing N80s at the moment, and finishing off N80s and the next-gen BT50s as well, which also the BT50s may be the same as, is it the Rangers? No. As the D-Maxes, I think, as well. Yeah, as the D-Maxes. So there's a lot evolving, and then it'll be cruisers and doing. Oh, I also do GU Patrol ones already, just the chodes. But I've got to finish off the long GU ones at the moment. But I'm in the middle of kind of evolving the consoles as well with the new mounting system and getting some stuff again fabricated in Australia. One of my biggest missions behind this is also just having like Aussie made stuff, and that, you know, that also reflects in the price. I guess like people kick up the stink about it, but it's not Chinese labor, it's not Alibaba drop shipped stuff like all the other shit out there. It's handmade, Aussie made quality.
Oh, I love it when people complain about the price. You're constantly on there like, well, let's see what you can do. Let's see you do better for a better price. Like, come on.
Literally. I literally have people that, not many people these days have initiative. Hey, like, you'd think they'd check my website in my bio, but people message me, hey, can you do me a custom console for this car? And I go, what's your budget? And they go, $500. I go, bro, that can't even buy the materials. Like, go build yourself one. What do you mean? But it's an interesting world we live in. But I don't know where I'm going to go with it all. It's just letting it kind of unfold and see how we go. But one of the biggest things I want to keep is, you know, people go, wouldn't it be cheaper to get them made in China? Like, yeah, sure it would be, but, you know, the way our economy is going and stuff, we need to try and keep Aussie made alive, and also just show other people out there that they can create whatever they want. And, you know, for me in these consoles, it's gotten to the point where I can't keep up with the demand anymore. So like, I'm restructuring my business like now, where I'll no longer be taking orders open from the public. I'll be just building my consoles for the month, and at the end of the month dropping on my website, and first in best dress, whoever gets them sort of thing. Just to bring that work-life balance back too, because it's as good as it is working for yourself, sometimes it's hard to like have those boundaries, and one of the biggest things for me is once there's an order that comes in, even though I say it's 3 to 8 week wait, like I'll finish it within the week, and then I'll almost catch up on consoles, then I'll get more orders in, and I'll just drive myself into the ground, because I never actually give myself a break. And like you said last year, just be on TikTok live till 10, 11 o'clock most nights. And starting at like 7 in the morning sort of thing. So just bringing in that balance this year, hopefully.
No, they do look awesome, and for everyone that can't see him, make sure you jump on his TikTok, Tommy Z Customs, to check him out. Give a quick run through for people that are listening. What's actually on the consoles that you?
So the biggest thing on the consoles are a 6-panel of rocker switches. So, you got 6 switches that are there for whatever accessories you want. They all wire into the factory lighting circuit of your car already, the interior lighting circuit. So you don't need to run any extra cables. It is DIY as it can really get. And then, so on my Chode consoles, it's got that switch panel. They've all got upgraded LED interior lights because we all know what lighting's like when you're looking for shit at camp. And then again, my longer consoles have even more lights at the back, which, as one of my customers said, it's like staring into the gates of heaven with these little LED lights on them. And then there's the option as well to have UHF accessories, so having like a magnetic mount and UHF socket for the. I only do them for the more current kind of UHFs that run on the for what people know as the internet plug, the internet cable, the RJ45 socket, and which works across GME, Uniden, and Oricom as well. They're all the same premise. So there's the UHF abilities, and then on my longer consoles too, I've got those RGB LED strips that are Bluetooth controlled via a phone app that are just the wank factor that us young generation love, all the colourful lights, but. That's the main gist of them. And then with my new mounting system as well, I'll be bringing back the ones that have a shelf and storage up the top over the next maybe 6 or so months. But yeah.
No, that's awesome. No, honestly, man, as soon as I seen him, I'm like, one day I'll get him for my rig. You post me one of those bows and I'll send you a console. I'll drive up and get you to fit it. I'll bring you one up.
Drive up, we'll go for a hunt and I'll fit one.
Sounds like a plan. Well, anyway, man, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. If people have enjoyed what they've heard and they want to check out more of your content, where can they find you?
Well, I'm on pretty much all socials. So TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. For my roof consoles is Tommy Z Customs. Instagram and TikTok are my most prominent ones for them. For my diving page, it's I Like It Deep 98. I've got YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. But yeah, my TikTok has the most content for diving stuff and shark activities and whatnot. So they're the plugs for the end.
No, awesome, man. Thank you very much again for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Cheers for having me.
Easy, mate. Have a good one. Catch ya.
See you, legends.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of Hunting Connection Podcast. We hope you've enjoyed our discussions and gained valuable insights into the world of hunting, fishing, and the outdoors. To stay connected with us and never miss out on an update, please be sure to follow us on social media, all at Hunting Connection Podcast. We appreciate your support and would love for you to share the podcast with your friends and family. Don't forget to tag us in your hunting photos on social media and let us know about your experiences. Your feedback is invaluable to us, so please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Together, we continue growing and delivering more captivating episodes for all hunting enthusiasts. Stay connected, stay informed, and keep pursuing your passion for the hunt. Until next time, happy hunting.